So the next productivity. So what is the productivity? Any student can tell me what is the productivity, what you people understand with the productivity? Anyone?
Ratio of output to the input.
Okay, very good, very good. Any another student? Okay, ratio of output to the input. That is the means accurate answer. I understood. And is there any difference between the production and the productivity? Is there any difference between the production and the productivity?
Yes, sir.
What is the difference? Can you explore? Okay, so I try to address all the question. What even we will discuss what is the difference between the production and the productivity. What is the difference between the performance and productivity? That all the things we will discuss. So what is the productivity? Actually, it is a means you can say the measurement means it is a measure to what I say well-being of any organization, health of any organization. It is a one type of the measurement. Okay, on the basis of that you can measure the health of any organization, well-being of any organization. Okay, so how I can okay, so just wait, I go to the next slide if possible. Okay, so what is the productivity here? Means you can say productivity means there is the some existing thing is going on. Okay, so means you can say the constant improvement in what exists, that is the you can say the productivity improvement. So that is the means general and as a layman thing. Okay, so productivity is a measure of efficiency of the production. How measure? Means measurement, there is the only one thing, you need to identify the ratio between the output and input. So what is the output here and what is the input here? That means define the or draw the boundary means you can say to define what is the exactly output. There are a lot of output, right? Some qualitative type of the thing and some quantitative type of the thing. So how we can measure exact output? That is still a one issue in the productivity. Okay, so suppose assume that there is the productivity is increased, your output is increased, same amount of the input is there but output is increased. Okay, but you need to check there is the our means worker is satisfied, our means officer is satisfied with this thing, with this environment. Okay, otherwise that particular productivity is only for the some time duration, after that many people will be resign and go out. Okay, so that is the qualitative type of the thing, the job satisfaction of the worker and all these things also you actually need to measure, but that we and the industry not means actually not measure anything about that. Okay, during the productivity measurement. So okay, the productivity is the measure the efficiency of the production. And what is the production is nothing but the you can say you produce something. Okay, by using the some raw material. Okay, so there how much amount of the input pass, that is not matter. If I produce suppose assume that I am working in any engine assembly company, there I assemble the 10 engine 2 days, then the production is the 10 per day. 10 engine assembly is the production per day by a particular worker. And again their input is not matter, how much amount of the cost you pay and all thing. So that is the production measurement. But when I talk about the productivity, there actually you identify the ratio and how to do the measurement, as well as we will do the some numerical also in the coming lecture. The next is the productivity is the ratio of what is produced to what is the required to produce it. It's the same thing. What you produce means suppose you produce any job, for that what is the requirement, that is nothing but the input, right? The productivity is the determination or yes, determination of the efficiency of any enterprise or enterprise to convert its variable resources into the useful finished good and the services. So there are some variable resources. Variable means the raw material, this raw material, as well as the some another thing like human resource requirement. These are the actually variable, okay, that is not constant for entire duration. By using of these resources, the variable resources, if you produce the good and services, then it's means how efficiently you utilize these resources to produce the good and services. That actually shows the productivity, okay. So the concept of the productivity, again there is the International Labour Organization define the productivity as a ratio of the output of the work and the input of the work. So indirectly you can say everyone is trying to say the same thing, okay. It's an indicator how well the factor of production, means the land, capital, labor, energy are utilized. That is the whole thing. So very simple, the productivity is the ratio of the output and input. So the definition, productivity is the relationship between the output generated from the system and the input that are used to create those output, okay. So before okay, the next actually I want to discuss, okay. So when I talk about the productivity concept, again here we will discuss means how we can measure the productivity in the coming lecture, how we can means improve the productivity by use of the some techniques that we will discuss in the coming lecture, entire your syllabus on the basis of that, and what is the cause of the low productivity, that also actually mentioned in your entire syllabus. So that all the thing will be clear when we go means when we about to end this subject, okay. So again the drawback, you can say it give only quantitative measure, okay. So that is the one thing, and as per the means some book also given, okay, that is the drawback of the productivity. And the next thing means what you need to do in any industry, if you work as an engineer, when you pass out, then you need to think how the particular work is going on in my plant will be better today if I compare with the yesterday, how I can means improve all these things compared to the yesterday. That is the actual thing. The next point, again I am telling you the input in terms of their raw material, in terms of the human resource requirement, in terms of the means lot of thing, okay. So that actually means change the productivity formula, okay. On the basis of the problem, you need to select a formula. So there is the different productivity measurement model, that also we will discuss in the coming session. So okay, so again I am telling you the what I need to do. Suppose if I able to draw here, suppose here production system, just wait 1 minute, class, I am waiting. Suppose there is the production system, okay, this is the production system, and in this production system, what is the first thing you need to pass? Okay, I know that the raw material is required, that we need to manage, as well as the raw material we need to manage, as well as you can say the human resource requirement, the raw material, that all the thing. But very one important thing that you need to pass, on the basis of that you do all this thing. So what is that? Already I discussed in the production planning control class. Then you will be here get the product, or you can say the services also. So anyone? Class? What is the actual thing? So here, okay, I will tell you because of the time constraint. Here the demand, and how you will be identify the demand on the basis of the forecasting. So forecasting is very important. Again, if I go to that part, okay. So on the basis of that, you will be do the production and all thing, okay. So now, why it is important, and again there is the means okay, so why it is important? Many people maybe say like that, okay, if I improve the productivity of any plant, they will reduce the number of the worker, and they will means fire the number of the worker, and it is actually means you can say the some people say it generate the threats, and it generate the job security related issue in the worker. That type of the thing also people will say, but what is the actual thing I want to share like that? If you improve the productivity of any plant, and any worker are doing the work as per the standard time and all, then the organization profit will be increased, right? And if profit will be increased, and as well as if productivity improve, then the profit will be increased, then you can say company will invest that all the thing on for the expansion of that particular plant. Okay, so they invest, as well as on the basis of that, where they share all this profit, where they share all this profit, they share all this profit to the worker, to the staff, as well as to the stakeholder, right? Just wait, what is going on? Okay, so that particular profit actually means you can say that share with the worker, and that if the increment in the salary to the worker, to the staff, they expend that particular salary in the means near to the shop, mall and all things. So indirectly you can say the productivity will increase the per capita income of the entire country. If you improve the productivity, I'm not talking about the only industry, I'm not there, means service as well as the product related industry, you can apply the same thing in any means any organization. So definitely it improve the profit, and it improve the per capita income, and per capita income increase, then you can say the GDP increase, and the GDP increase, then the standard of the living is increased. So how to improve productivity? I'm not talking about the hard work and all. You can improve the productivity by use of the some advanced technology. Even if I talk about the manufacturing, there if you spend some money on the means, if productivity is improved, they invest more, so they invest on the digital type of the manufacturing, then the again the productivity will be increased, again the means they share all this profit to the worker as well as to the expansion, then again the GDP will be increased. So the thing is like that, the productivity is actually means if you improve the productivity, if any means organization improve the productivity, is actually contributing toward the standard of the living of entire country. That is the thing. So now the next just wait. Okay, so again what is the system concept, that again I want to tell you. The system concept means, okay, the system concept means there you pass the inputs like land, people, capital, as well as the facility, equipment, tool, as well as I talk about the energy, already I discussed, right? Material, information. If you pass all this thing, okay, if you pass all this thing into the system, means the system means actually use all this input and convert into the some desired output which you needed, and that you will be passed to the customer. So there is desired output, and there you need to identify the output and input ratio. So how you can identify the output and input ratio? There some model is there, I will be discussed, because it is look like very easy. You need to identify output and input ratio and you will be get the productivity. But how you will be measure all this thing, input, how you will be measure the output? That is the one means challenge, okay, for measurement of the productivity. Now okay, so again the point is, what is the difference between the production and the productivity? So as you people say like that, means I think one student say the productivity is the ratio of the you can say the output and input, right? So what is the production? Production is related to the activity of produce good and services. It is a process of converting input into the value added output. That's it. Okay, so it is a process. Means what is the production of the today? They are not asking about the how much you consume, how much raw material you consume. They are not asking about that. Okay, they just means focusing on how much number of the product you produce today. That is the production. But when I talk about the productivity, it is related to efficient utilization of input resources to produce output in the form of the value added good and services. Okay, so how you efficiently utilize all the raw material to converting into the output. Okay, so that is the actually indication, and that is the actually indication of the productivity. Okay, so is there any doubt between the production and productivity, class? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. The next So there is the one misconception between the people, like they assume that the productivity and the production is the same. So that is actually not like that. And again, the one more misconcept means, you can say the misconcept is like that कि everyone is thinking about like that the productivity means the only labor productivity. So it is not like that. Productivity means here you consider lot of things, as I discussed in the system. You need to consider the tool, you need to consider even energy consumption, how much input as a energy you supply, and you produce that particular good and services. And if you reduce that input energy and you produce the same amount of that output, then also it is a productivity improvement. Okay, so don't think it is just related to the labor. Okay, and again, the one more thing, productivity is not concept only for the manufacturing, it is applicable in all area. Okay, so now again, the one more thing, when the accountant in any company is talk about the what is the productivity, maybe he will be concerned like financial ratio, means how much actually I am getting the profit and how much actually I invested. So that ratio, on the form of that they measure. Okay, if I talk about the behavior scientists and the HR, they think labor utilization, how I able to utilize the labor, in the form of that they think the productivity. And again, if we people think like engineer think, then we actually think how we actually utilize the existing capacity, how we utilize the manpower, how we utilize the machine, and the machine are not in idle condition, or we are able to utilize all the machine in the proper manner or not. So that all the thing will be actually is our concern, and by use of that we improve the productivity. So that is the all thing. So again, so okay, and again, if I simply want to say, suppose you a member is spend 90 rupees and produce 10 product. Okay, and the B member invest 280 rupees and produce approx 30 product, and the C member invests 350 rupees and produce suppose 40. Okay, so can you quickly calculate what will be the productivity of all these A, B, C? What will be the productivity? Can you tell me quickly, class, what will be the productivity of A? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you calculate what is the productivity of A? It is nothing but the ratio of output on input, right? Here written clearly. So 10 by 19, what is the thing? 10 by 90 is okay, 0.11. Can you calculate 30 by 280 quickly? Quickly calculate.
0.107.
107, and the next 40 by 350.
0.1142.
0.1142. Okay, so here just again I am telling you to means actually means clear the concept and clear the difference between the production and the productivity. If anyone say कि I improve my production, already my production is improved, it is not means here they improve means 10 to 30 they actually manufacture, after that they manufacture the 40 product. It is not mean like that their productivity is improved. Okay, so here you can see the productivity is here 0.11, now 0.107 actually decrease, and again some amount means it is equal to that only. So please keep in mind, if you increase the production of any plant, it is not mean it is not mean their productivity is also improved. Okay, so you need to identify, then only you need to tell. Okay, So the next point is the difference between the production and performance. So what is the performance? Anyone who can say me with example? With example, anyone can say me what is the difference between the, actually you people now aware about the productivity, right? So what is the performance? Already written in the slide, but okay. So I just taking a one example. Okay, suppose from operator, okay, as a engineer expected he will make expected on the basis of the standard time 50 product, but he produce only 40 product. Then what is the performance of that particular worker? Means here you set actually standard, okay, you will set in the time study when we do now, that time you will be set the standard for a particular job. So now the ratio of actual work done and the expected, okay, so what is the performance of this particular worker? That is the ratio of actual product, how much he produced, that is the 40, and the what is the expected, that is the 50. So 40 by 50, 0.8 means you can say 80%. Are you getting my point? What is the performance, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So the next is the efficiency. What is the efficiency and what is the productivity? Okay. So can you tell me what is the difference between these two things before going to the slide? Any student? And please participate into the class, okay, and don't put anything in chat box, because if I go to the chat box you people unable to see the PPT. Please unmute and speak. Anyone? No one is ready to, I mean, I think many people are just log in and go out. What do you people understand with the efficiency? Anyone? Okay. This concept actually you need to know. We many times use na, we need to improve the efficiency. Okay. Okay, so when I talk about the efficiency, it is ability to do something or produce something without wasting material, time or energy. Okay, it is ability to do something or produce something without wasting material, time or energy. But when I talk about the productivity is not talking about like that ki, means without wasting you need to produce more and all. Okay. And when I talk about the productivity, how you can improve the productivity? You can improve the productivity by supplying the less input and getting the same output. By supplying the more input and the rate of change of the output is more. And by supplying the less input and you getting like that, you can say getting more output, that type of the thing. So you can manipulate here. I am not talking about the you need to reduce the wastage of the material, you need to reduce the time, means processing time and the energy. The motto is like that, you you need to reduce the input, okay, but I'm not talking about the wastage of the material and all. But when I talk in the terms of the efficiency, it is ability to do something, produce something without wasting material, time or energy. So that is the difference between these two things, okay. So it is measure the waste in the system, but when I talk about the productivity, it is measure the output produced by 1 unit of the input, okay. So it's depend on the quality, it's depend on the production, that's it. So is there any doubt between the efficiency versus productivity, class? Is there any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So I go to the next point, factor affecting the productivity. So what are the factor actually affecting the productivity? Okay, so you people also know, okay, so there are the two factor, okay, which may be affect to the productivity. One is the controllable, we can control that particular factor, and one is the uncontrollable or external factor we cannot control, like the COVID related thing, that is the natural thing, and that is the uncontrollable thing. Due to that also the productivity of the many organization is reduced. So that is the uncontrollable thing. The government and the infrastructure, the taxes related thing, these are the uncontrollable thing. The next point, you need to focus on the controllable and the internal factor. That is the plant and the equipment, means availability and the reduction of the idle time. How I can reduce the idle time of the machine? And already we discussed that thing in the sequencing. Okay, how we can reduce the idle time. First, you need to you people should know how I can measure the idle time, how actually I can identify the idle time, then only you can reduce, right? So you people means should aware how to identify the idle time, and that all the thing discussed in the lectures, like in the sequencing lecture. The next is the technology. Means if I implement the new technology, suppose assume that in your plant there is the traditionally they doing the work, like there is a lathe machine is available. Technology you need to apply, like CNC machine you need to purchase, and that improve the productivity of the plant. So that is the controllable thing, and you need to invest on time to time manner. As a owner, as an engineer, you need to invest in your industry in the form of the technology. So it will improve the productivity. Okay. The next, work method, improvement in the way of doing the thing. Okay. So what is the thing? Means industrial engineering tool. That is the work method. So what is the existing means going on in my plant? How I can improve? How means first how you can improve? First you need to identify alternatives, and you need to compare those alternatives with the existing process going on. Then only you can select the best one, and your plant productivity will be improved. Okay. So that is all the thing, means factor affecting the productivity. The criteria for the measure of productivity. Okay. So the measure should be accurately reveal actual change in the productivity. So the thing is like that, when you measure the productivity, means there some number you will be get, that will not indicate anything. Okay. But when you use that particular number for the comparison, then it will be work. Okay. So I will discuss that thing in the coming session. The measure should be accurately reveal the actual change in the productivity. Okay. So what is the thing is like that, suppose in 2020 I am getting the productivity of my plant is 0.6. In 2021 I am getting my productivity of the plant is 0.7. In 2022 I am getting my productivity of the plant is 0.5. Now this number is useful. Okay. So it is actually reveal how much change is occurred in my organization. Okay. So how much change is occur with respect to the previous year. So here you can say the productivity is increased, here productivity is decreased, like that. Okay. The next point is the input and output must be considered in totality. Okay. So that we will discuss in the numerical part, and the productivity of all activity must be measured individually. Okay. And the productivity data must be made available for managerial action. Okay. Many company are not reveal that particular data when you go to that particular industry. So actually they need to reveal to at least the engineers, so they can, and even the engineer is know, but the many times they are not ready to reveal when the new people will become. So actually you need to reveal the something, then only means you can take the proper decision for that particular organization. Okay. So objective of productivity measurement. So here the objective, again I am telling you, to compare an organization with its competitor market, to find out the relative performance of the different employee, unit and department. If I need to find out the employee means you can say the difference between the performance of the employee. Okay. So how you will be identify? By using this productivity term also you can identify the difference between the employee as well as the unit and the department. Okay. To compare relative benefit of different type of the input according to their output. That is the thing. Okay, so the next measurement related thing will be discussed in the coming session. Okay, so